Good morning, everybody. Jayy here with another War of the Visions video, and today we are doing Let's Love Lancers episode number 4, and we're doing it for Glaciela. Glaciela is a unit that a lot of people really like. A lot of people don't really know a lot about her. She might have fallen through the cracks a little bit. I don't know. You just don't see her a ton anymore. But I want to highlight some of her strengths because I think she's still a very viable unit. And if you're looking forward to Tidus in the Final Fantasy X event, who by all accounts is looking to be a free unit for us, he's going to give that group water buff, and Glaciela might be like a core part of a water team you might want to build with your brand new shiny Tidus in a month or whenever we get Final Fantasy X. So to start, let's put some other piercing damage units stats on the board and compare what Glaciela's working with to them. So we have Kain, Eileen, and Victoria on the board. The 3 piercing units we've already reviewed. What's she feeling like here? Well, let's start with her HP and attack, the first 2 I want to highlight. Her HP is the highest of any of the units we've highlighted yet. This adds to her bruiser ability, which Glaciela as a bruiser is pretty viable. She's a very high damage bruiser. She's not a glass cannon like somebody like Eileen or Victoria, and like Kain gets a lot of his tankiness from, well, he's kind of tanky, and from his courage buff. So she gets her survivability from high HP and slash resist, another thing that we've highlighted there on the bottom. You can see that she has 25 slash resist just walking into a team comp. That's more than anybody else on this list, even more than Eileen, whose one of her best build paths was just pure slash resist. Okay, what else? 460 attack, the most of any of the units we've reviewed so far. Again, even more than Eileen, who, that was Eileen's thing, right? Like, I do a lot of damage. Glaciela's like, me too, I have more attack than you. So that's really a big bonus to Glaciela. Alright, let's look at agility. 58 agility base. Now, that's a little less than Victoria over on the right. Now, the side here, like the other half of that equation is we're about to look at Glaciela's support abilities. Glaciela actually has 2 support abilities that can boost her agility, and she's one of the faster units in the game because of that. So, those things that are highlighted right now, those are her strengths. What support abilities and counter moves should you run? Well, in my opinion, I run a combination of the 3 support abilities that you see highlighted right now. That's Jab Mastery, Shadowrunner, and Shukuchi. Jab Mastery and Shadowrunner, those are going to increase her damage from Jab Mastery by giving her Pierce Attack plus 12 and 12% agility. Really good ability. I think you keep this one on almost all the time, no matter what. Shadowrunner is the ninja ability that gives you agility 12% and luck 12%. So this will make you faster. It'll make you better at hitting evasion units as well. I probably run this one the second most, and I like to run it in combination with Jab Mastery to do like super fast Glaciela build. Okay, Shukuchi, the one that's highlighted in yellow, I use that one when maps require more movement and jump to do what I want her to do. So not the current arena map because it's so short. I don't want her like getting too far forward on her first turn. But on some of the maps, like the one with the big, the ice one with the big mountain in front of you, I do like it on that one sometimes. As far as counter abilities go, Counter Sting all the way. 30% chance to proc a piercing damage counter for 121% damage that also decreases the attack of the enemy. That's pretty good. It's not like reflex good or damage distribution good, but it's pretty dang good for a bruiser like Glaciela. Now, the thing I want to talk about here before we go into the fights, Jab Mastery plus Shadowrunner is probably her most like damaging combination of things. However, they don't really increase her attack at all, and they only give her 12 piercing attack up. This does limit Glaciela's damage a little bit. It keeps her from being on that like ultra high level damage unit, but she still does plenty of damage to be like one-shotting squishy targets. So let's go look at some team comps with her. Let's put her into arena a few times and see what she can do, remembering these strengths and weaknesses we just talked about. Okay, so let's look real quick at where we can get Glaciela for her like agility and attack and things like that based on the team comp. So the first team I want to run here, this is kind of a fun team. This is the squad that I'm going to run when Tidus comes out. I'm going to run Christmas Ramada because she has that whole group water buff. Tidus will have that same thing, and then Glaciela will just kind of be like water piercing queen with those buffs on. But we have Warrior of Light for this one instead. Let's check out Glaciela's stats in this group. We're going to take Shukuchi off and replace that with Shadowrunner. Now Shukuchi's an interesting option here because that move +1, jump +1, that might help her extend forward more, get into range earlier, but I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing yet. Anyway, 87 agility, really nice. Now she's losing a little from the golden armor, but she's gaining it back from the lance. And then we're giving her Uldoa's TMR because since she's getting agility from the lance, she doesn't need it from the TMR. This is a big benefit for spear users in particular because their best weapon for almost everybody's case has agility on it. You don't need to go agility on your TMR because you get 5 right here. That's really useful. And Glaciela loves that because she loves Uldoa's TMR. All right, I've ranted about that for long enough. So we're just going these passives. We got 87 agility, attack up to 1053. Very nice. It gets up there further because Titan the Vision card, really, really good on Glaciela. Gives good stats, Man-Eater on physical attack, Pierce attack up, awesome. But then check this out, attack plus 30% for Water and Earth Valkyrie Lancer Dragoons. Glaciela, awesome. Also Eileen, but Glaciela too. All right. Let's hop into some fights and see what we're doing. Now, we can basically fight anybody here because we're not running much defense, right? Slash attack up, Man-Eater up. We're going all damage all day. So let's pick the first person on our list and just run at them. Here we go. What happens for us to win? What happens for us to lose? For us to lose, Glaciela dies before she hurts anybody. That would be game over for us. For us to win, Warrior of Light moves forward, gathers some aggro, Ramada has her revive from Zombie Ryuryu's TMR, and Glaciela starts 1 and 2 shotting stuff. So, it's important for Glaciela to be fast, because on her second turn we want her hitting things. So first turn, move forward, cast your TMR, awesome. Second turn, move forward, Leap Strike. We're going to talk about Leap Strike specifically after this fight, but I want you to see it in action first. Okay, there's a hate buff from Warrior of Light. Here comes Glaciela. Leap Strike. 1 down. Nice. Now, here she goes. Slash attack kills her. A strength of Glaciela is her slash resist. Super Stern almost doesn't care. That dude just hits like a truck, and he killed her anyway. But we still have Warrior of Light. We still have Christmas Ramada. We still have a chance. All right, Ruinstern working his way in. He's a little bit slow at getting there. That's cool for us. And he's really focused on Warrior of Light, which is really important because Christmas Ramada is a squishy girl. All right, Ramada moves into range. Super Stern's life is in jeopardy at this point. All right, Ramada, get him. Here it comes. Wait, she actually couldn't do anything from there. That's okay. Ramada, get him. Just regular attack, just slaps him for 1900. He dies, we win the fight. Okay. Did Glaciela carry us in that fight? Not necessarily. Although she did one-shot the Ayaka, so she fulfilled the condition that we wanted. And she fulfilled it using Leap Strike. So before we go to the next fight, I want to look at Leap Strike a little bit closer and talk about why it's good or bad, and then look at her skills a little bit. So let's pull up our girl here, Glaciela, and look at her Valkyrie main job skills. Okay, this is where you kind of make her into what you want her to be. Javelin Claw, this is a lot like the regular Lancer's just spear throw ability like Eileen and company. Good move, leave it on, it has nice range, and it hits pretty hard because it's piercing damage, and even with the piercing mitigation that's in the game, it's often not mitigated a ton. Good buff here, War Maiden's Acuity, attack, defense, piercing for 3 turns, cool. Triple Piercer, a 3-hit attack. Really good for chaining in PvE, really good for burning through shields in PvP. So a good attack, I leave that one on. Leap Strike, I want to talk about that one last. Surefire Burst, this is a large damage attack that hits guaranteed. Great against evasion. Now Leap Strike, this is her most important skill to me. You saw that it can do enough damage to kill squishy targets, and then look at the range and AoE on this. She can jump up to 3 spaces away, and then it hits in a cross that goes 3 spaces in each direction. It's really important that this skill, if you leave it on, can kill squishy targets, because it will often hit the back line even if unintentional. Like, sometimes the tank will be standing towards the front, but the healer's maybe 2 steps behind them, and she'll leap strike on the tank and like accidentally hit everybody else and kill the squishy targets. When she can do that, Glaciela is like unrivaled god damage dealer. When she just leap strikes in, hits only the tank, doesn't kill him, and then gets blown up, she's like small brain, what's wrong with the AI? Whoops, I'm not a very good unit level. Alright. That's what I wanted to say about that move. I'm going to leave it on for these fights because I want you to see it in action, but I hope she'll use some of her other moves too. Let's go on to another battle and see what happens. Okay, so for our second fight, we're going to switch the team comp up, and we're going to highlight a little bit more of Glaciela's slash resistance strength by bringing Kayn in, who's a fantastic partner for Glaciela. Probably Glaciela's best teammate in the game right now until like Tidus comes out and you can do that water stuff. But why Kayn? Well, why Kayn is because of Demon Wall. Demon Wall is going to give Glaciela more pierce attack, 25. That's no joke, that's a lot. Then it gives slash attack resist 12 to the group. Okay, we're building up Glaciela's slash resist a little more, which is really important for her. Then Kayn gets all his awesome buffs from it, and that's why Kayn's a god, but we always know that anyway. What else you can do here is run Siren on Glaciela, because Siren gives pierce attack up and gives slash resistance up. So with this build, we've run Glaciela's slash resistance to 70%. Now, she got one-shot by the Ruinstern in the last fight. My money's on Ruinstern not being able to one-shot her with 70% slash resist. This is the ultimate form of Glaciela, in my opinion, if you can find slashing teams. So let's try to find a slashing team and see what we can do against it. Alright, here's our slashing team. We have Dwayne, Ruinstern again, and Warrior of Light. 3 slashing opponents. Now, what could go good, what could go bad? Kind of the same thing again. We want Glaciela annihilating people, because she's a DPS unit. We want Warrior of Light gathering aggro, which he did a fantastic job of in the last fight, just like pacing back and forth in front of the wall and being chased by Ruinstern. And then Kayn might just 1v3 because he's Kayn. You know, you never know. I mean, like, he's going to revitalize, he's going to cast Courage round 2 if he can, and then he's going to be Kayn. Alright, so what's happening? Enemy team has a cool setup here. They're going to the corner, they're buffing, and their Warrior of Light gets forward. So really good movement by the enemy team. Glaciela's far enough away, so check this out. There's her buff. She is in like full-on damage mode at this point. However, her movement's a little weird. She's avoiding a lot of the fight. So if Kayn cannot kill everybody, which he almost kills Warrior of Light, Glaciela is going to be the one we're going to rely on to clean this up, because our Warrior of Light's not killing everybody. Okay, down goes Kayn. That was a massive damage hazard crusher from the enemy Ruinstern. Alright, enemy team moving forward. Glaciela, go do things. Javelin Claw, nice damage on the enemy tank there with the Javelin Claw. Now Ruinstern kills Warrior of Light. It's Glaciela versus 2, but it's Glaciela versus 2 slashing units, and she has 70% slash resist. So is that good enough? It's looking kind of bad. It's looking kind of bad. She's dead. Dang it, it looked kind of bad. So, what did we learn from that fight? Well, Glaciela's positioning was too bad, and she couldn't do anything. So let's find another fight and see if we can get a little better movement out of our Glaciela. Okay, so for our third and final fight, we're going to start by checking out what the enemy team was running last time and why they were so effective. So check this card out right here, the Exorcist card. It gives 35 slash attack resist piercing rate to the group. Now that's 35% of what slash attack you're running, which makes it more effective versus more slash attack resist. So a lot of Ruinsterns are going to have that, and he will be effective against her because of it. It also gives him that 3-hit attack. So what did we do differently here going into the same fight? Well, we switched Glaciela into slot 2, we moved Warrior of Light into slot 1, and we put Kayn into slot 3. The hope here is that as the fight progresses to the left, Glaciela will find a great leap strike or something and maybe kill 2 people. Or at least kill Ruinstern and while she's hitting Warrior of Light or something like that. So we need a little bit of luck. However, the movement has already started better for us. Kayn seems more focused on getting over here, Glaciela is in a much better position, and Warrior of Light's in a better position to tank a little bit. So Glaciela, Leap Strike, uh-oh. This is the thing with Leap Strike. Now, Ruinstern not quite in range to do damage yet. This might work out in our favor. Kayn gets Immortal Spirit off, which he did not last time. Magic Infuse will hurt. Okay, here we go. Warrior of Light has moved up and shift attack it into range. Oh, that's interesting right there. Now, our Glaciela moved before Ruinstern moved. Then Ruinstern moved and did a buff, but still was able to move again before Glaciela. Interesting, to say the least. But this team is running the vision card that gives the this tank sucks. Just cancel this tank. Okay, so for our third fight, we can't fight the same guy again because he went too far down on the screen. But we will fight this team, which is 3 slashing units. And here's the important thing here. They are not running the Exorcist vision card. The last team that we were fighting was running Exorcist, and that kind of counters out one of Glaciela's biggest strengths a little bit. It gives 35% slashing attack resistance penetration to the group. That means if you have 70 slash resist, well, you lose 35% of that, which is going to drop you somewhere down around 50. And that's why they were able to just kill Glaciela, even though she had all that slash resist. This team is more of like a bruiser team. It's looked like they're going for status effects, that kind of thing. They're going to have a lot harder time hurting Glaciela, I think. Let's see what happens too. I also moved Glaciela into slot 2, so her positioning couldn't get randomly so weird. Like, she's not going to take this big, long journey across the map and get there at the end. We're going to stay a little more group this time, and hope we don't get status effects dropped on our head all day. Okay, our buffs are going well. Warrior of Light has gotten his shield and his hate up. He's in a great position to do some tanking. Enemy team also just buffing a ton. Here comes Glaciela, Leap Strike. Only got the 1 target, and she's a little overextended. Now, here's the thing. If she can survive the onslaught that she's about to get thrown at her, which, unfortunately, she landed, like, in the perfect place for the Agrius limit break. But if she can survive this onslaught, Warrior of Light will move up, depending on his confusion, and be able to cover for her. There's a good Leap Strike right there from Glaciela. Hits 2 people, almost kills Agrius, and almost finishes off the enemy tank. You can see she has successfully survived their damage. The enemy is now in range of Warrior of Light, so they will look to target him. Except for the enemy Warrior of Light wasn't in range of Warrior of Light, but look at that, she lived and then killed him. So good. This fight is effectively showing off Glaciela's strengths. Now we're going to get the Crystal Braver from our tank. This will do pretty decent damage to Dwayne. Yeah, that's okay. Warrior of Light doesn't even have a weapon equipped, so we'll take that. Then we're going to back that up with Kayn's Limit Break. This will finish him off, I betcha. I was wrong, but it did slow him down. Alright, he's just on to her. Good, let's let Glaciela, the heroine of this video, finish the fight. Nice. That's a good win. That did highlight what Glaciela's strengths are, while also showing off what the weaknesses of that build were in the last fight. Cool. Alright, let's go on to giving her a grade and wrap this video up. Okay, let's wrap the video up by giving Glaciela some scores, give her an overall score, talk about kind of where she is in the game right now and where she's going to be, because I think she's going to be in a really good spot. Let's put the scores on the screen. So they're up there, you can see what they are, and you can see that she ended up at an 88. Real quick, why? Her damage is pretty good. A 90 is an A, and we're feeling pretty good about a 90. She can kill evasion units, she hits squishy units particularly hard, and even though there is pierce resist in the game right now, it's not as much as it used to be. AoE ability. I went back and forth on this one a little bit, went with the 87. Leap Strike does a ton of AoE damage, however, it's not the most reliable AoE, and it feels kind of random sometimes to me. Random's probably not the right word, but it feels that way. Utility doesn't really bring a lot. Like, can buff her own damage a little bit, but doesn't bring a lot of buffs to the group. I think that will improve when she gets a mastery ability and like maybe a water-based master buff for her team. But right now, 70, it's not very good. Movement. She has base 3-1 movement. It can be buffed with Shukuchi, so that took her out of that like 65 range. And then her speed, which you see is 95, is so good. It kind of helped covers for that. And then Leap Strike also can put her like across the map. So instead of getting the 65 that I give to a lot of people that have that 3-1 base movement, I bumped it to a 75 because it doesn't feel as bad on Glaciela as it does on some other units. Okay, last up, durability. She's a bruiser, and she feels like a bruiser that does a lot of damage. She has a lot of HP, and particularly against slashing teams, she feels pretty sustainable. Now, she also has 10 base pierce resist, so she can kind of work there too. Exorcist Vision card kind of hurts her, and the like prevalence of lightning units in the game right now isn't great for her in this moment. Nivlu's out there, Fred's out there, they kind of kill her, so oof. But 88 for now, pushing into the 90s when Tidus comes out, in my opinion. I think if you're looking towards those future water teams, this girl's going to be one of your core units in that. Throw in Christmas Ramada if you have her, like I'm going to do. Throw in your calculator girl, Ildira. Mix in some Siren Vision card. Mix in pretty much whatever you want. Like, that water team's going to be strong. And with Tidus coming for free, it's going to be a nice, like, budget team that a lot of new people might take advantage of. Alright, that's all I got for today, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button, toss me a subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see y'all in the next video.